Welcome to training session number 2. I'm going to discuss with you the training session notes that are provided on the Moodle page for this internship and of course for your mentoring experience. Let me start off by saying thank you again and congratulations on completing your first week, and now on to training session number 2. Hopefully you have the notes in front of you. But these are just some of the things that are important in training session number 2. First, if you do not have a YouTube account, it is very important that you sign up for a YouTube account, as access to these videos are restricted. They are not available for public viewing. Second, let me go over now some of the directions to use these notes as a guide in terms of helping the students as well as yourself during the mentoring process. The career cluster materials, you should have them now for your review. As you look over them, or hopefully you've looked over the video or software, you'll see that there are approximately 80 items that the students will be asked to complete. Also, you will notice on the Moodle page, I've posted the actual printout of the survey. So in case there's a problem at the school with using or accessing computers, you can utilize the notes or actual survey printout and complete that with the students instead. You'll want to start start your training session first by having the students to complete the career cluster inventory survey. They need to complete this survey as soon as possible. This survey will assist them in getting a good idea of areas, occupations, or career choices they may be interested in. Next, you'll want to help them form a perspective of what they want to be when they grow up. Remember, you can always feel free to think outside of the box, do things that you think will actually help them to get a better understanding of what it is that they want to be. I've actually posted on the Moodle page a copy of a personality spectrum that can be used. You can log on to Google and of course find your own personality spectrums and use those in addition to the ones that I have attached on your Moodle page. Nonetheless, the personality spectrum is just to help the students to identify what type of personality they may have, or at least get an idea of their personality tendencies. They're not 100%. They're meant to be fun and entertaining, but also informative. Next, you'll want to perhaps spend some time talking about challenges in the real world, and why it's very important for them to start thinking now about what they want to be when they grow up and the obstacles that they may encounter in attempting to do those things. You want to emphasize things such as being clear and being specific and setting goals. You'll want to tell them to keep notes of the things that you discuss, so that when later on you're getting ready to prepare your actual presentations during the spring banquet, they'll have an idea of what they want to talk about and what they want to create their presentation on. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about that at our next in-person training session, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks. Also, be sure to take videos and pictures of all of the mentees as well as the mentors with the mentees. Please try to include your banner in your background of your photo, the one that was provided courtesy of Miss Nikki Landry. Make sure you take good notes, both mental and written, of everything that happens during your mentoring experience. Your second journal assignment will be posted shortly after you complete this session. I've also included some structure and format recommendations, and these are intended to assist you in determining pretty much what you'll need to do. and how you'll need to structure your mentoring session. Some of my recommendations are that you allow the students to review and complete the career cluster paper survey or using the electronic program as soon as possible. The second thing, of course, is to discuss your time and how you're going to actually go about completing the tasks for that day and for that time, for that session. As you have probably realized by now, an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes goes by very, very fast. So you'll want to make sure that you designate 10 minutes for this, 15 minutes for that. And what I'll probably end up doing is, if you need me to, I'll provide you with a timer. But you can take your own timer so that you can determine how long each activity is taking, and you can let your team members know when to stop and when to begin. You'll also want to use the, again, personality spectrum that I'm attaching on the Moodle page. And like I said, let that be something fun. You can even start out with that really as your icebreaker and then move into the career cluster. It's really going to be up to you and your team and how you think the students will respond to the materials. But you can use the personality spectrum with the mentees, and that could be something that would be fun, and you can have a little light discussion with it. You'll want to make sure that you have determined your mentor-mentee matchups by now. You don't want to go into the third session not knowing who's going to be having an individual conversation one-on-one with who. Now, of course, if your team feels that everybody should have access to everybody, then I think that's a great idea as well. Because no one needs to be locked in with any one particular person. So the mentees might feel comfortable talking to this one, one mentor this time and the other mentor another time. It's all going towards the same goal, to give them a well-rounded idea of the different persons and personalities that they'll encounter in making up their mind about career goals and career choices, and ultimately they're making that decision. Last but not least, I always recommend coming together as a group and having an actual group discussion or group powwow session, if you will, of what you learned from each other today, what the mentees learned, what they got out of the session. And of course, make sure that you take pictures, that you videotape, and also if you're interested in showing any videos, you know where those video clips are. But if you have some that you think are also important and will fall in line with what we have discussed in our training sessions, you can feel free to show those as well. If you have any questions about anything regarding comments or items that I've gone over in this training session video, of course you can always email me and contact me, and I'll respond to you within 48 hours. I wish you much success on this training session, and I look forward to seeing you real soon.